But what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to attempt to take the crank arms and stuff off. If I have the, I'm not sure. I've done it on another bike, but I'm not sure if it's the same like crank puller and all that stuff. So I want to see if I can, because I have like, it's getting bad with the creaking or whatever, and I think a new set of these. I don't know if it's, there's something in here when you apply pressure and it gets down here, it creaks and clicks. And I'm like, try tightening the bolts. I've tried with the rear skewer, some people saying to like try to pull that out, wipe it down and re-grease it. But this does have like close to like 13,000 miles on it, and it's still the original crank arms and bottom brackets. I did change out the cassette and the chain roughly around, I think I had like 7,000 miles on it. So I had 7,000, I changed it, and I'm like up to getting close to 13, so it's like an additional almost 6,000 miles. So it may be, I may need to change those again, but I got like the SRAM things, which were a higher price, and I think I went to, I think the back end is, I went to a smaller cassette so I can get kind of faster, closer gears, because I want to say it came with 11 to 32 or 11 to 34 originally. Then I put on 11 to 28, I believe. But I'm going to attempt to try to pull this off if I have the correct tools, because the bike shops are like backed up like 4 or 5 weeks. But my only issue is I could probably figure out to do it, but also I got to make sure I got the right tools. If I don't have to order the tools, then possibly, I mean, I can get away without getting like a bike stand, but it'd make it a lot easier, and that's like $160 for like a Park Tool smaller version bike stand, which that'd be great for me to have when I'm doing like indexing the gears and all that stuff too. But the clicking and creaking's got, I tightened the bolts like last week, and for like a day or half a day it was like silent, then it came back, and now it's almost worse than what it was. So I gotta figure something out, because it's, I don't know if it's technically doing anything bad, but it is getting, it's really getting on my nerves. And then if I have like GoPro footage, it's like click 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 on there. So but yeah, let's attempt to do this. Okay, so I found my tools. That's for the cassette, but that's the crank puller I have, and the one bottom bracket remover, which worked on my other bike. So I'm gonna try to see if I can attempt to pull this out, I guess. Maybe I'll get a little bit closer here. I'm just gonna see if I can pull this and if it'll work or not. Because I'm not 100% positive what type of, I don't know if I have a sealed bottom bracket. That came out pretty easy. Or a, I don't know if I have, if it's, I don't know if it's a sealed cartridge or if it's, okay, so there's a bit of grease on that, so we'll, yeah, it may actually be a square tapered sealed bottom bracket, because it's looking like it's because it is kind of a square taper in there, so it might be. Because I was trying to look too, I think I was trying to look on the oh, what do you call it, on Giant's website, if it what the bottom bracket type was, or is, I mean. Yeah, I think it's changed from, this is 2017. And I think that it's the 2020 version is a different one. But I believe it said on this one that it's, that it is, so I probably need the, so I got the crank puller here. I think it's this one I need. Yeah. So what I'll do is make this flush here. I'll put it in, and then I'll actually screw this part in, and then I'll actually do like that, and it'll pull the crank off. But I was trying to figure out if it was a like a cartridge, like a sealed cartridge bottom bracket, or if it was like the 2 cups, or whatever you call it, like a threaded one. Make sure that's kind of, then we'll start pulling this in. Luckily I have this, because I had a GMC Denali bike from Walmart that I had before this one, and it had just like the O-ring bearings, which are crappy and gave out pretty soon. But I replaced it with a Shimano. Oh, that's, I replaced it with a Shimano sealed bottom bracket. Oh god, that's hard. I think it didn't go, but maybe like 1,000 miles before the original O-rings gave out. But like I said, this is still the original bottom bracket on this one. And whether it just needs to be re-greased or it needs to be replaced, I'm not entirely sure. That's why I'm trying to take it off and look at it. I mean, of course it'd be awesome if I can just re-grease it and it'd be fine. But there's a good chance I'm gonna probably have to. It has almost 13,000 miles on it. It's the original crankset, original bottom bracket. It would just have that arm. There is a shit ton of fucking crap in there though. Like just muck. So that may be an issue as well. So I'll definitely wipe that off. Let me pull this back out. Pull this back out too. I mean, either way, whether it needs to be replaced or not, I don't have the parts today. Yeah, there's a ton of like gunk up in there. I'm thinking maybe I do have the correct I'm thinking I do have the correct. I mean, there's just there's like a couple of millimeters of just straight up gunk on that. Like this is the first time I pulled it off. I think possibly when I took it to the bike shop, it may have gotten pulled off to check it or whatever. But I haven't been to the, because I know within the first year of me having the bike, I had an issue with the original back wheels, what do you call it, hub or whatever. I think maybe water had gotten in. I was riding in the winter. I think maybe water had gotten into it and it froze. So the little teeth that catch it to go forward, like the water got in there, froze and expanded. But luckily it's still within the year, so it's still covered under the warranty, so I got it replaced. This is a pretty heavy. I said this is 175. I also want to make this too, because I tried looking on YouTube and I didn't see any Giant Contend like bottom bracket replacement or anything. I didn't see anybody else do it. Although the bike, I think the 2017 was the first year it came out, because it was replacing the Giant Defy series. Because I originally went there to get a Giant Defy, but this had just come out and it was a little bit cheaper. I think it's like 50 bucks cheaper. So I still got blue shit on my pedals where that damn bottle exploded on me the other day. I may need to turn it around and take the other one off as well. Yeah, so it looks like it's probably gonna be a sealed. I was wondering if I need to replace the pedals too, because there's a little bit of play in there. I think these are like, they've worked out pretty good. They're like 1-up. I've probably had them at 2 years now, but they're like around 50-ish bucks through Amazon. And I was thinking about getting actually the blue ones are 52s. They have like orange and green, which is like 49 bucks, and they had blues, which is like 56. And I thought about getting the blues to match the blue here and like the blue handlebar tape that I put on there. Get a little bit of kind of color coordinated. But yeah, there's like so much gunk in there. I'm wondering if this is going to be the... Okay, I think I'm lucky. I think it is the actual correct. But I'm going to pull the other side off first. So let me move this around. All right, I got it flipped. Oh, it's funny too, cause I think even the new one too, they come with a FSA Tempo crank arms instead of actual Shimano Claris. So I think the newer version are all black for the FSA Tempo, and they're like 90 bucks or 100 bucks. But I thought I'd get the actual Shimano Claris ones. I think they're 140-ish maybe. And I'm not exactly sure which particular bottom bracket that it is or that I need to get yet. So we'll get into that. Now, I don't know. I mean, that was. But like I said, it has almost 13,000 miles, so I probably be a good idea to replace it anyway. I just got to order the parts and wait for them to come in. I was thinking I was needing a stand for this, but this is pretty easy to do this without a stand. There's like almost no grease on that one. The other one had a bunch of grease in there, but that one has like almost none. I'll do the same thing with the crank, or yeah, the crank puller. So we'll make that bring it in here. We'll make this flush. Then make sure you don't cross thread it, because if you do, it will mess it up. Make sure it's going in there nice and easy. Then we'll put it in by hand. Then I'll tighten it with the wrench so the actual big part is flush in there, but don't over crank it. Just, you know, a decent amount of. Then we'll start twisting the actual puller part. I don't know what the actual specific nomenclature is. We'll give it a couple twist here. It is because if you haven't done it before, you almost feel like you're going to break something, because it's pretty tight, which it should be. Then also we'll get to it, but when you put the pedal back on, this nut itself will act as the pressure to slide the crank arm back onto the bottom bracket itself. But I have, maybe I'll list the part tools below, because I can't remember the name of them off the top of my head. But I got the packaging and stuff. I'll probably just do this. It's kind of off there already. There we go. Probably should have put it in the smaller gear. That might have been good. You're gonna get dirty doing this. Yeah, so maybe put your rear cassette in the smaller gear in, might be helpful. And kind of twist that off. Because another thing, this one isn't as gunky, but it does have some dirt and stuff in there. But one thing I did notice, some of the bolts I was tightening, Jesus, I'm gonna get fucking grease all over me. Give me a second here. No, let's do it like this. I was trying to not. Oh, it's already there. I was starting to say I don't want to get grease on the wheel because it can mess with the brake and stuff. I think normally people leave, there's not like a bunch of clearance here though. So, but I know like some of these, I think these two, it's weird though because it has like little flatheads on the back, and I think these three I can like turn it a little bit, but like I said, like I've tried taking like a flathead to try to hold this in place, but it doesn't really seem to be working. I need like something that's like extra wide or whatever. This is let me trying not to get grease all over the place, but I don't know how successful that's gonna be. I mean, I could just wipe it off, I guess, but let's just put it on the rag for now. Oh, it's probably gonna get grease there. Give me a second here. I just gotta sit on top of a shoebox. See, this one doesn't look as bad, but it does have like kind of this, I think it's a spacer, and it's kind of jingly, and I'm not entirely sure which way this is supposed to I guess maybe it'd be easier to clean the bike when I take all that off, huh? Let me get like a dry brush or something to brush some of that stuff out. Because this side looks like it's more like dirt than it is necessarily gunk. Like I said, I think I've been hearing that too, so I don't know if this has gotten loose or not. Like I said, the other side is gunk, which I still need to clean. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be making that sound. I'm just going to look really quick on my phone, I think, to see which way I'm supposed to. Because both GCN and Park Tools have videos, which are pretty in-depth and stuff if you've never done it before. And also if you need a reminder, because I'm not sure if it's, where's that piece at? Right here. I'm not entirely sure, because I know luckily I have the correct tool, but I'm not sure if it's, I gotta do, because you would assume that it's counterclockwise loosen it, but like the pedals though, like one is normal, the one's the other way, so I wonder if that's the same thing here. So let me check. So I'm gonna, I mean, it's been a while since I did this. Try to get all this gunk out of here too. See, there's a ton of gunk, and this is the non-drive side. I mean, there's like a ton of gunk in there. I need like a, what I need is something kind of on the hard side. I just so happen to have some of these like bamboo skewers, so we'll kind of scrape this out, kind of scrape this as well, and that kind of helps. And there's like a bunch of, just like a bunch of built up like dirt and gunk. if I can brush it out again. Like I said, it's probably been a while since well, it's been a while since they've been cleaned, but I personally haven't done it. Kind of get the gunk out of the little spindle threads too. Like I said, this clicking's been annoying the crap out of me. And that's probably a good indicator that something needs to be tightened, fixed, or replaced. Alright. Let's just get those little fucking things in the trash. Alright, so let's try this one, see if it works. Okay, that one came quite a bit. That one was fairly easy. I wonder if I can just... Yep. Yeah, so literally this is just, I don't know what you'd call it. Some kind of coupling. I may, there's like kind of just more gunk on it. Oh no, I got gunk on me. So yeah, let's try because it looks like there is like the center pedal part, then there's also like a bearing here as well. You can see it move like independently of this. So we'll let's take off the other side. Let me switch this thing around. I may try and do it clockwise first. Maybe it is maybe I do need to do it clockwise or something. We'll give it a try. I mean, there is a good chance. Yeah, clockwise is loosen it. Okay, so it is different. So your drive side is clockwise to loosen, and your non-drive or your left side is normal. It's clockwise to loosen. No, counterclockwise to loosen non-drive, and clockwise to loosen your drive side with the crank. So your left side is normal and your right side is opposite of what you would associate with. All right. And there is a little spacer here. I can do that one by hand. Then the whole thing comes out. Okay, so we actually got markings on here, and it is quite... Okay, so this is the Action Bicycle something, CH55-68/73107L BC 1.37 × 24T. If we can see all this has left and right. So this is the bearing I was talking about on the other side that was independent. Here's like the drive shaft, or what do you call it? Spacer. So it's kind of it's a sealed bottom bracket, then it has the coupling on the other side that tightens it in. So we're going to give this thing a good wipe off and re-grease and maybe see if that fixes I mean, you can hear that, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to make that noise or not. Then also, what we're going to do is what we're going to do is, as you can see, it's very like gunky and stuff in there, so somehow dirt has gotten in there a little bit. We're going to completely wipe that out, and we're going to re-grease it. And I have this Ultra Lube white lithium grease. I mean, it could really be the possibility that I just need to take everything out, wipe everything down, re-grease it, put it back in, tighten it, and it could get rid of it. So I'm going to do all that. And if it fixes it today and there's no creaking, then I don't have to do anything. It needed to be serviced or whatever, I guess. I'm sweaty. But if it's still going on, then I need to actually replace it. And I may take pictures of this stuff so I know what to get. But it's similar to the, it looks similar to that Shimano bottom bracket I got for the GMC Denali. Where we have, can we see it here on here? But like I had mentioned it. Is it too bright? Let me give this a good wipe. And we'll definitely give it a good greasing. I'm gonna have to like wash my hands too before I take a picture of this stuff. I'm gonna try to get it on this GoPro as well. So it's an Action Bicycle Goods, like I mentioned before. The CH556873 107L BC 1.37 times 24T. Then it shows left and right side, and this side was the drive side, the main side, we'll call it. Whew. It got hot in here. And I'm gonna wash my hands and take pictures of this with my phone for reference. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna wipe everything off and out. Maybe we can get into this bottom bracket here. If I can get it to... Ow. Because there is a good bit of gunk and stuff in there. Like there's a... See all that crap in there? Make sure we're not hitting this, but also... Oh, come on. Because now you can see this like a lot. It's like shiny metal now. It's a lot cleaner than that gunk. So I'll flip the bike here and I'll make sure I got the other side clean as well. I mean, you can almost feel like the grease there now. Yeah, so it's pretty. Let's Like I said, let's flip the bike here. So I'll make sure I get the other side. My hair's getting in my fucking face. Ugh. And hopefully that will I'm not a fan of that chain just flopping around, but it'll work for now, I guess. Ugh. I guess the other side I got it fairly clean from this side, but I want to make sure I get in there and really get it. So I'll wipe the bottom bracket and all that good stuff. Change the rack as well. Just trying to find a good one. So this is nice and clean now. Alright, so let's actually, I believe though, I took this one off first. See, this is dirty as crap too, so I'll wipe this off. So let's do that. So it should just go back on. Yeah, it should just go back on normal like that. But I wonder if I should put grease on here or put grease. I may just put grease in here. Let's get a good blop on the finger. I think I may accidentally push up on the frame. That's fine, I guess. So I'm sure it's got a nice bit of layer of grease on there. Nice coating. Then it should hopefully. I don't think I need to grease up both, do I? That should be enough. You just make sure you don't misthread it though. It should just go in there fairly easy. You can always still kind of hear a kind of a, I don't know, we call it kind of a grinding. Put in there as fast, no, as much as I can with my finger. That will. Well, here's the thing. I'm wondering how far I should put that in, because it was out a little bit actually when because I guess technically you could. Yeah, I don't know how far you're supposed to put it in, because originally it was kind of out just a touch. So maybe I'll put it. I guess maybe you're supposed to put the other one in and then tighten this one on. So let's actually do that. Because I know I pulled this one off first. Alright, so let's do the other side. Then maybe that will tell me how far I need to, which means I gotta wipe this off really quick too. So there's kind of the issue with the dirty threads on that one as well. Oh God. So, I'm actually going to grease the inside of this as well. Because it kind of looks like there's some gunk in the threads here as well. So it may be I need to like take a day and like really clean the threads on the inside very thoroughly and let it like kind of break down whatever the maybe gunk or build up or whatever it is. Also, I gotta remember the spacer as well. And I'm gonna put some, let me just clean it off. It's like a piece of metal, I believe. Yeah, it's a piece of metal. It could be that maybe, I don't know why they have the spacer. If that one could keep going in further. Like I mean I'll put it back, but let me lube this boy up. Oh God. Put some, because there was lube all over this too, so I just want to make sure. Was there lube on this? I can't remember or not. But this was covered, I believe, so. There was like red grease, whatever that is. Alright, so let's this needs to go, to tighten it needs to go counterclockwise, I believe. With the spacer, don't forget the spacer. I'll put this in, and we'll start it by hand. I probably should have wiped off the frame a little bit. I gotta do that when I get it in there. Where is, here we go. Then you're supposed to tighten it to a certain degree. I don't have a like a, what do you call it, like a Newton torque thing that tells you how many Newton meters. So I want to make sure that's on there, and that spacer, because that spacer was loose. So I'm not wrenching it down, but I'm putting an adequate amount of pressure on there. And the spacer is tight now, and it was loose before, so, because I could hear it jingling before and it was like annoying. So let me flip the bike again. I'm trying not to get grease on me from the chain. And let's put this back in. Like this. So I'm thinking that this should tighten into where it gets tight, because before I was doing it, it just kept going. But now I'm thinking, since this is since this has something to go against, it should kind of tighten to, it should actually tighten, I should. See, so that's why it's sticking out before. So I wonder if I even need that spacer actually. If I took the spacer out, this would go in closer to flush. So I'm kind of wondering why that spacer is there. Now I'll just give it an adequate amount of pressure. Not too much, but an adequate. I bet I could take that spacer out if I wanted to, and I could get this flush. Because it's about the distance. But then again, that spacer may be there to help with the chain spacing or whatever. but it's sticking out. Dare I say it's sticking out a little bit more than it was before. But like I said, it could be there because of it needs that extra couple of millimeters to let me put some grease on this too. Extra couple of millimeters to I'm losing my words. For the chain spacing or whatever. I'll put this in like this. This one had like a washer on it too. So I'll wipe off the old gunk and I'll re-grease it as well. It sucks because this one has like some rust up in there. Then I, like I said, tighten these things on here where I actually put the cranks back onto the bottom bracket. And actually all I need for that is my hex key here. And some grease. Put some grease on here. Tyson's awake. I don't know, there seems like to be a... seems like there's a fair bit on there when I took it off, so... let's be very... what's the word? Shush! Very liberal with it, I guess. I'll actually move this here. Let me... trying to move this so you can get a better view of it, hopefully going... you should see it like moving in once it's... what are you doing? Get... no. Quit sniffing that. We'll get it in. We'll have to start applying some pressure. Quit! Oh God. That's... oh man. No, there's like some... is that in? I actually can't tell. Oh, I'm trying to see if it is. Yeah, I don't want you sniffing greasy stuff, Tyson. I mean, it looks like it might be. I just can't remember if there was that much space in there before. But, I mean, I got it on there tight, though. I guess I should probably test this out, too. I mean, it's a fair amount of... someone will flip it and put the actual crank on. You got to remember to also, I'll probably wipe this down as well. Make sure you put the chain. It's easier to fucking loop the chain on like this part on the other side. Alright, so let's flip the bike again and put that on. Like I said, just make sure you got your, I'm telling myself really, you got your chain kind of up and in there. Because usually it's good to like just have it like that, sitting on there. That chain's pretty dirty too. Because I thought about replacing the actual Claris derailleur. I kind of don't want to mess with this. I think this would be a little bit easier to, because it's kind of just like a bolt here. I mean, you obviously got to rerun the chain, which I can do, but like trying to get this spaced out would be difficult, I would imagine. Space correctly or whatever you want to. I mean, it's not. Whatever. Well, so this needs to be on here, and then we'll put this up. Make sure you put it opposite of your other pedal. We'll get this. We'll give this a wipe. We'll also give it a good greasing as well. Wipe off your hands. Go ahead and start putting it in there. Then I'll put this over here so you get a better view of the. Ow, that GoPro is actually hot. So hopefully you should maybe see it move in a little bit when I start tightening it. Maybe I'll go ahead and put it on the chain here. Yeah, I need it like really clean. That. Which I may do that here actually. Once I get the, make sure I get the pedal on tight. I feel like I'm almost bending this. Alright, that should be good. Let me give this chain a good, oh my god, wipe off as well. Because usually I'll just do something like this. I'll run it backwards. You got all that gunk. It's usually good too to hit these little derailleur sprockets because they'll build up some crud as well. Oh, my back is like hurting. Oh, oh god. Get it good and wiped down, then you can like lube up the chain. Then I have actual, like, I'm not gonna put grease on. I have actual, like, bike wet lube. Put on there. Alright, so that concludes this little section, I guess. We'll take it out and I'll ride it really quick around the block here to see if the pedals, A, feel tight on there, and B, if it had any effect on the creaking, clicking, or any of that. I mean, there's a slight chance it could be, because there's like a little bit of play in the pedals. I mean, if I really wanted to, I guess I could buy the pedals first. If they're still creaking and clicking after I try this out. If there is, I mean, if not, we're good. If there is, maybe I'll try, because you can kind of, there's like a little bit of, you can, because it's when it's going down into the downward motion that it's like creaking and clicking when like pressure's being applied. I may order another set of these, try that first. If that doesn't fix it, then maybe look at the bottom bracket and the crank. Because I'm half tempted to get pedals, crank arms, bottom bracket, then maybe possibly get like a new cassette and chain. Because it's getting to be close to, I replaced the cassette and chain at around, like I said, 7,000 miles. And it's been about 6,000 since then, so it, I mean, a refresh might be in order for those as well. It's just having the money to order all those parts at once is the issue at this moment in time. Like I can order some, then see what happens, and then maybe order some the next week or whatever too. But yeah, I'm gonna try all that and see what that does. All right. So that may conclude this. I don't know. Well, maybe I'll say something after I test it and get ready to go. I gotta like wash my hands and everything too, so we'll do this, and I gotta charge this battery and stuff as well. All right, cool. So I took it for I can't talk. I took it for a quick test ride around the block, and I applied pressure as much as I can on a flat surface, and it seems to have fixed any and all of the creaking and clicking that I had before, which is fucking fantastic. That I don't have to spend an extra, what, 200 and 250 bucks. Like, there is the tiniest bit of play in these pedals, so I may still technically get another set and get them blue so they match the handlebar color. I did notice like some, like oh god, but I think that's the, I think that's like the cables rubbing. Which I mean, I don't want any extra noises, but I don't know why that's. A lot of times I have the GoPro here, so they're kind of like pushed back anyway. But yeah, I was gonna go. Like, I went out to do the test ride, and it's like 4:25 right now. So I was going to hurry up and try to get down. It's like fucking, it's raining. There was no rain, but I think it may be one of those quick, because it's like 93 degrees, and it dropped down to like 74, so it dropped like 20 degrees, so it may be like one of those really hot, quick summer showers. So I may give it to 5 at the latest to see if it clears up. And if it doesn't, I mean, if it does, I may still head down. So I may get stuff ready to go. But because like last night I went down so late and it was just terrible. That guy was an asshole. I didn't get that many deliveries. I didn't want to stay out that late. That one delivery had me go pretty much halfway back home. So, I mean, obviously I'll know more when I give it like a full 30, 40, 50 miles on it, which is usually how long an average Uber Eats thing, like to get downtown, yada yada yada, all the way around and back. And little Ty is actually eating now. He's eating some of that yummy, yummy food. Can I have some of that food? Can I have some of that food? But it's yummy. Can I get some of that yummy food? Like, that's his breakfast from this morning he didn't eat, and he's eating it now, so he's hungry. Might give him some of that good wet food later. But yeah, I'll get stuff ready, and my nose is always running. And we'll see if it clears up. I may check the actual weather instead of just Google weather. If not, I can actually edit this video. Just stay home, and I got like a 10 terabyte hard drive that I need to actually like do an unboxing and stuff on, and use it, because all this GoPro footage is like, because each one of these cards is like 128 gigs. Because I just bought a 4 terabyte, another, because I had a 4 terabyte, which is fine. Then I got kind of full. Then I bought another one like a month and a half, 2 months ago, and it's like almost full, all because of the GoPro stuff. So I bought a 10 terabyte one, and I may just put all of the GoPro stuff on that one, then get another 10 terabyte one to put my other regular stuff on. Side note, I think it's a Seagate. The 10 terabyte ended up being $18.50 per terabyte, and they had a 14 terabyte one. But if you got that, it ended up being like $23 and something per terabyte. So per terabyte, it was cheaper to get the 10. So that's the reason I got that one. I would love to get like the bigger one and just consolidate desk space, but you save like $5 per terabyte. So it's like, that would have been like, you know, it was like 185 versus, oh god, what was it, 320 or something like that. It was like high for like 4 more terabytes. I'm like, then I sit down and do the math. But yeah, I'm gonna get this, at least get it ready. Just pump up the tires, oil the chain, put these back on there. Side note, Bushwhacker grocery pannier bags, amazing. Like I said earlier, I need to get a different rack that has the kick out part, which I may purchase one of those tonight too if I end up staying. And if I get the money, or I may have to wait till when I get the money. But yeah, alright, I think this may be the end of it. Like, subscribe, comment if it is the end of it. If it's not, well, do that anyway. Alright, later.